go live.
Oh, one moment. Ugh.
Woo! I think we are live. Hello, guys. It is Q&A with Queen and April. A little late today,
Yeah.
but that's okay. We're going to get it going. We're going to go ahead and start with our intro. Q&A with Queen and April. Q&A with Queen and April. Welcome, everyone. If it's your first time with us, we would like for you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you know when we are actually live and we're going on the air. We do apologize. We're a couple minutes late, but that's okay. Better with a late than never. So, Miss April, how was your weekend?
My weekend was productive. It was great. I had a relaxing time. And that's one thing with me. My over the weekend, I like to kind of balance out life for myself because it's work, work, work throughout the week. And then on the weekend, I like to be able to decompress. And if I need to do a little bit of work, I inch that in there. I kind of squeeze it in just a little bit. But the primary focus is self repair and self care. So, with that being said, I had a great weekend.
Well, that's good. That's good. I did nothing on Saturday. I wanted to go out on Friday and or Saturday, but the place I wanted to go to was sold out. I had a stupid me decide to invite somebody, and by the time I invited them, they didn't get the text message or didn't respond. And then by the time I went back, it was sold out. So I was like, okay, so I'm just staying home. And then Sunday I had to work for someone, but for the most part, I was pretty relaxed and enjoyed, doing a little bit of nothing. I try not to do anything on the weekends, although I don't 9 to 5 it. I just feel like that's a rest and repair and restore time to kind of like hang out and do whatever. So I enjoy my little days where I could sit in the bed and just binge watch a YouTube or something like that. So I did watch a couple of shows, and this is
Mhm.
girl, and she claimed she had cancer and went around town. I don't even remember her name. She went around town. Belle went around town telling about she was this, that, and other. She had this app, and she was never sick. She's just a straight pathological liar.
Oh
And
my goodness.
she made people buy this app, and she was fined, and that was just weird. I still haven't finished the whole movie, but I saw that and a couple other crazy movies that were on TV. I shouldn't be watching that stuff and feeding my brain with the foolishness, but I guess I'm caught up with sci-fi crimes, and I like real stuff like documentary movies. I don't like movies
Yeah.
that are. I like nonfiction stuff. I like things that I could probably go to the courthouse and see the film and see the thing after they make the film about it. So I like stuff like that. I like,
Oh.
solving crimes.
Well, that reminds me, over the weekend, I did see a movie that was based on on a real story, a true story. And if I'm not mistaken, it's called When Terror Comes Knocking. And oh my
Okay.
goodness.
I need to
Yeah,
watch that then. Is it on Netflix?
I believe it was Netflix.
Okay,
And
okay,
it
okay.
was
So I'll
just,
put that on.
yes,
Good,
yes.
good, good.
So I
Well, glad.
love
I'm glad we both had a good weekend, and I'll let you go ahead with the quote of today.
So this quote is quite befitting for our topic of the day. And it goes like this: the future doesn't belong to the people who know the most. It belongs to the people who are willing to learn, adapt, and take action before everyone else does. And that's exactly what we're
Yeah.
going to talk about tonight. We've got a lot
Yes.
of people who are quite interested in, or, they're a little afraid. They're fearful of AI, right? Is it
Oh
going to
my
replace
AI.
me? Correct. Is it going to replace me? Am I going to be needed? How can I get that taken care of with AI or what have you? I apologize. I'm being a little distracted. Go away. Thank you. Life sometimes just keeps on lifing. But when we get back to AI, a lot of people are fearful of it, Queen, right? They don't understand that AI is not to replace you. It's really to help enhance what you already do. And we were going to specifically, I'd like to just kind of talk about how that equates to using AI in our real estate business. So I know for me personally, I find it to be it complements my business, right? It allows an agent to be more consistent. It increases productivity, those sort of things, right? So I can think of at least about three things that AI or how AI could actually help a person in their real estate business. Would you like me to start, Queen, or did you
You
want
go
to
ahead. Well, what
move
I was
to
going to say about AI is
Mhm,
people say, just like what you said, the fear of replacement. But in some cases, it is a replacement. For example, when you call a company, instead of having an assistant, your AI
mhm,
assistant, which is more reliable than someone who's sick, who calls in sick, or who can't make it to work, or you got a business to run, nobody's there to answer the phone. A
mhm,
business owner can't do that. If you're doing that, you might as well be owning the McDonald's and flipping the burgers and selling the burgers and doing. So it's always good to have somebody or something that's a consistent, I guess, staple in your business. And it can replace some people. I wouldn't say that's going to replace everything. There's always going to be a human element. Even with AI, you still need some level of human element. And then you need a what they call a default, so that once AI can't do it anymore or can't figure it out, there needs to be a default. And what
mhm,
happens in companies now, you use AI gets it to a point, and then it has to have a default to either someone's going to answer or it's going to go into some sort of a log for someone to return a call or to get back to you, or some sort of
mhm,
a position where it sits, because AI gets confused. I trick AI all the time. Whenever I get those calls, "Hi, I'm your AI assistant," I start saying dumb stuff like, "I don't like that." Well, can you tell me again how we can help you? I don't like that either. Can you tell me again? Until it gets tired of me and it either sends me over to an individual or it puts me into a separate log for that person to call me back, and they tend to call me back. Now what's even funny is if you call somewhere and AI picks up the call but no one really talks to you and maybe leave a message, that
mhm.
will generate a call back to you when you didn't even really want to talk to anybody. You kind of call, this is, "I'm kind of interested in Botox," let's say, but you didn't leave a message. You kind of call, you get a phone call back, and I'm like, "Botox? I would never do that." I was just
Yeah.
calling number to see what the special was, and it just so happened to be. And then that will generate a callback, which is weird. Or it generates an email or a text, which is kind of interesting. So once you put your phone number in there, even if it's on a waiting list for a restaurant, they got your information. They're gonna be contacting you. So
This is true.
AI
This is
can replace
Yeah,
in some
so
cases.
it can replace in some place, but let's talk about those agents that are fearful of it replacing
Yes.
them.
They
And
need
I'm
to get
here to
it
tell
together.
you, right. Well, here's the thing, you said something really important, which was key. AI can help with productivity, this, that, and the other, but it cannot replace your relationships. And
It
we already
cannot.
shared in another topic, a previous discussion, how important it is to not only build but nurture your relationships.
Right.
So at this point, AI hasn't gotten that advanced, at least not with my friends, not with my clients.
Yeah, it does.
But
And you know what? You're a different type person. There are younger people who are using these things in a way that are different from the people who, when we were doing things, we're still in the relationship business. You'll be
mhm,
surprised how many things are non relationship the way we would think of it. I mean, I know my grandmother is not filling out a portal to say do her taxes or to go to the doctor.
right.
Now, if it's not that way, you can't even see them until you fill out this, and it has to be
Right.
online and it's AI generated, or it's, that's how the steps are moved. So
Mhm.
I am still a little on the old school side of things. I don't want my people to be confused and kerfuffled into all of this electronic stuff, because for me, I just like, I remember the lender calling you and talking to you on the phone. Now it's, "Here's my link," and it's like, whatever happened to the questions? Now I'm looking at all this stuff and I get confused, and now I don't fill it out, and then I get confused, and then I just turn aside, something happens, I get distracted. Whereas if I'm on that phone call building that relationship, after the
Mhm.
relationship is built, maybe that link could be sent to the client. But now
Got
it's not even, "Don't talk to me, just hit my link," or
Get my link. I
it's a
got you.
little
I'm
different.
feeling you there.
A little
I'm feeling
different.
you there. Well, when I think about AI and the way I use it and the way I other agents can actually use it is to help out with those productive tasks, right? And you can actually save time doing that when it comes
Mhm,
down to like creating content, marketing material,
mm,
drafting an email for a response of some sort. Some of those things that are pretty repetitive, you can actually program or use AI to help
true.
you in those areas. and it frees you up to be more productive. You find
And it
yourself
sounds
able
intelligent.
to,
Some slow people need it. I know a lady wrote me an email, and I'm like, "You are not that smart, honey. You are not that smart." I remember writing a whole description for a house, and the lady goes, "Well, I don't know about all that." And she sent me the AI version. I said, "Can you look on your phone right now? Somebody's calling." The
right, right,
AI
right.
version is everybody can at this point, especially some people are so slow. You can kind
Mhm.
of tell when it's AI generated versus when it has a feel or a touch, a different type of emotion. I'm just
Mhm.
saying, and that's not for everything, but
Now, here's the thing. I know that a lot of people they use AI kind of like just asking questions, right? But what they don't understand is you can actually, when you're asking AI to create a particular thing, you can actually tell it what type of tone to use. And so
mhm.
when you start to share breakdown, for example, you want to use a warm or a friendly but professional tone, now
Yes,
that kind of removes that sounding strictly like it's someone talking above their IQ based on what you were saying.
right. Or proofread it because some people go through AI. I sent this lady a notification or something, and she wrote me back a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't even talk about. And I'm like, first of all, I know her intelligent level is as small as an ant. She is not bright. So I already knew that she was AI in it. I wrote it back and I said, look, I don't use AI and Chat GPT to communicate.
Mhm,
So I need you to
mhm.
get proofread your AI before you send it to me because obviously I never mentioned any of that in email. So some people don't really understand. AI is not perfect. It does make mistakes. You can tell it what kind of tone, if it's warm or friendly or professional or what have you. And they give you suggestions. AI will say, "Do you want me to show you how to write it this way?" They even tell you. They communicate. They talk to you. So it's not
Right,
like
right.
it's very, very advanced in that regard. But you still have to sound your at your level of understanding. Like you might not even understand what you wrote. Like
Absolutely. And you always have to proof it too,
proof
right?
it. You must proof it to make sure it's you. And once AI learns you, they can actually write things the way you might want it. But if you're not smart enough to know that and you want to try to sound like you have a
Mhm.
lexicon of information and you're wordsmith, you're not a wordsmith, so you should not be doing some of the AI stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But as you were saying, there are so many enhancements, like you said, content creation,
Yeah.
writing things for you, creating even blogs, putting posts online. The only caveat I will say, because I am a social media expert, AI is not welcome on social media. It is not going to give you the same algorithm as a normal, you put it together, you did it yourself, because it can recognize AI. That's the only negative I don't like about
Yeah.
AI, that the social media, usually you want to get views and posts, right? You want people to like it. You want them to be at the top of people's algorithm. When it's AI, it actually suppresses it. And that's the only negative because it can tell what is AI.
Right, right. No, I totally agree. As a matter of fact, I was speaking with a colleague who mentioned that he was pretty much letting people, giving them a warning to be careful about that. I know for me personally, I remember, so I was using this AI program, and it's specifically for, in this instance, commercial real estate. And so I wanted to put it to the test, right? So recently I closed on a 6 unit strip mall. Well, prior to me doing that, I had to evaluate. Can you hold one moment, please? I had to evaluate leases. I had to do lease abstracts. I had to look at quite a bit, reconciliation as far as the leases themselves. And then I had to also do a market analysis of the area just to make sure that the information that was being shared was accurate. So, long story short, in doing my personal one on one independent analysis of these leases, of contracts, doing the survey of the building, this, that, and the other, it took me several days to do that. And so I got to the point where I reached my conclusion so that I could share with my client if the deal was going to be a go or no go. And so weeks later, I found out about this software. So I loaded all of the information that I had actually received from the listing agent, and I had AI do analysis on that information, and it came out on point. I was right. It made the same assumptions that I made. I apologize for the background noise. It made the same assumptions that I made, and I was like, "This is really, really good." So anyway, with that being said, how about you, Queen? Do you
I use AI every day. I think, or I use ChatGPT. Um, I use ChatGPT because I do a lot of content things that I have to put together. And what I will do, just to kind of like make it not AI, I will take my own stuff and then I will say, hey, could you recreate this way and do this and do that? Um, and this way it makes it not so AI-ish. But I've been noticing I would do something creative for AI and then look like I scroll and I see somebody doing the same thing. I'm like, ah. So they all start to look alike. So I have to really be strategic on how I design it. And then once I do that, I could put it in another format, like maybe Canva or something else, to change it up so it doesn't look the
right?
same. Change the hue, change the background. I do a lot of posts and things like that. But I do love that I could say, hey, create a post for Facebook or for YouTube with this idea, with this lady, that man, that color, this, that, and it throws out stuff. And sometimes it's not right, and sometimes I don't like it, but then I can change it. And me and AI have a relationship now, so we're always doing things. Or I'll write a whole entire program or plan of what I want, and then I would throw it in. I know I'm doing a lot of charity events, and I was trying to think of
Right.
names of charities with a B, and all I said was, hey, throw some charities out that I could do that have this thing starting with a B. And shockingly enough, it gave me so many great ideas. And it actually explained, if you're going to do Bantam Buddies and whatever, this is for dogs. And if you're going to do Bantam Black Tie Affair, that's good. That's a black tie affair. It just threw out some really good ideas that started getting my wheels turning. Because, I know some things, but I don't know everything. So to have another voice, it's almost like I have a committee, a personal committee, which is AI, that actually helps me do the things that I need to do to be productive. I also can do auto emails and things like that. And every 3 months, send them out without having to think about what it is I'm doing. If it's fall, I'm like, create a fall tips on how to keep your house during the fall, things like that. Or,
Mhm.
grass tips or whatever. You can come up with some of those things and it's really cool. Again, I do proof everything. I let another pair of eyes see it. I put another person's, even though I did it through the AI or Chat GPT, I also want to make sure that it is right. Because again, if I just ran with it, I could find their errors. I know I did one recently and it switched over the
Mhm.
logos. I had 4 or 5 logos. And when I added it together, it created, instead of Bantam, it said Batman. And if I wasn't paying attention, it just changed the word. It looked the same. The words were just Batman, or Belham.
Right,
It just would
right,
change the
right.
logo out, and only one logo just kept changing. And if I didn't pay attention, I would have sent it to print and we would have had a problem. So just little stuff like that. I do find that AI is great in that it does have an option to have you have a personal assistant. And I think answering the phone is one of the most tedious things to do when you're running a really big business, and having them field those questions. It's just like if you went on a Facebook and you did a form where you filled it out for a company, telling them what you're looking for. If you want to purchase on the phone, it does the same thing. It actually translates. I have it now on my personal cell phone that if you've never called me before, my AI assistant will screen that call, ask you some questions that I could see live, and I could determine if I want to pick it up. Why I like that? There's so many telemarketers. There's so many people spam calling me. If I didn't have that AI feature, I would be answering calls and hanging up on people. And so, and
Right.
see, I'm different. I do like the spam calls. When they answer, I go through the whole spiel. I wait till they get to the end. And a lot of times they say, "Are you 18?" I'm like, "No, I'm 17." And they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you." Or I go through spiels with them, ask them how they doing, how's their kids, where they located. I could be as bored and I will stay on the phone because they think the longer they stay on the phone with you, they're going to get something. And with me, they have wasted their entire. I mean, I get so many calls about, are you selling your property? They ask me dumb questions. I answer dumb questions. They ask me about car insurance. The best one is, a warranty on a car. Now it's health
Mhm.
insurance. And when I tell you, I go through all the questions. I bless their little hearts. They be like, I stay on the phone with her, and they're excited because they're thinking they're getting somewhere. And about an hour later,
Mhm.
they're thinking, I just wasted a whole time with this fool. And that's what I do. 'Cause I ain't got nothing else to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and, since you wasted my time calling me for foolishness,
Right.
and I'm gonna go ahead and
Right.
answer the call. So I'm a little different, but yeah, I do have a screen now, an AI screen. The
Mhm.
tools for AI are just amazing. I mean, you already know I drive a Tesla, so with a Tesla, you can almost call it AI because my computer takes me where I want to go. If I just press the button,
Sure.
it drives me anywhere I want to go. I don't have to look up. I don't have to pay attention. I'm going to be
Mhm.
safe. The car's not hitting anybody. It's supposedly the safest thing you could drive besides you trying to pay attention and text and eat and do what realtors do. Realtors are the most dangerous drivers on this side of earth. And if nobody believes me, trust me, drive with a realtor who gets a text
I
about an emergency.
I will say some. I will say some, only
So they
because
are.
used to be I used to be a claims adjuster, and so, no ma'am, I am not a
Yes, it's a
dangerous
lot.
driver
We're
at
just
all.
not we're not focused all the way. Even if you're not a
I
realtor, sometimes
am.
we're just not focused all the time when you're going somewhere and what you're doing. You could get easily
Yeah.
distracted, things happen, the phone rings. So everybody says that, but even if you have a phone on your dash, you get distracted
Mhm.
from driving. It doesn't matter. Unless your car drives itself, you are going to have outside distractions. So as much as you think you aren't, I promise you, just having a conversation and turning your
Well,
head to your person.
you said realtors are the worst
Yeah, not
drivers.
all. I said dangerous.
That
Dangerous.
you said they're
Yes,
dangerous
because they got a
drivers.
lot going
Fit
on.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
fit
don't
in
fit
that
that mold,
category.
but
Nope,
everyone, if you're
I'm
in your
special.
car, you're changing your channel for your radio, you're turning to the right,
Nope,
turning to the
leave
left,
it
talking to
alone.
someone, you will be distracted. I don't care who you are. And everybody gets in the car and changes their radio or they're doing something. And I was with you in your car when you were changing the radio or trying to figure out how the navigation worked. I was in that car. That is still
And
a distraction.
I was not dangerous. I did not have you
No,
in
you
any
you
type
wouldn't
of
call it dangerous, but it's a distraction. A distraction alone, 1 second can cause issues if you're not self-driving. So I
right,
kind of find
right.
that it focuses you in. Everybody doesn't have self-driving. I think we should all get self-driving. I think it's going to get to that point at some point, especially for the young
Yes,
people and the elderly, because young people are totally not developed frontal lobally. Frontal lobally.
this is
Their frontal
true.
lobes
This
are
is
not
true.
developed and they're all over the place. Older people, they have
It's
faculty
true.
concerns, and I'm going to be old people too, so I get it. But we all definitely get distracted. And I think AI can help us. Even we've had AI for years. We just didn't call it AI. AI was
Right.
navigation. That was AI. AI was auto touch points. When I was working with Keller Williams, we had 12 touch points and we would set it up. Every client that came
Mhm.
in under the database, it would automatically send them 12 touches throughout the year. That was AI. We're just calling it something different. Or we hired
Mhm.
people who had AI and they sent out our marketing. We don't need a marketing assistant anymore. If you do have AI, you could set everything up on auto. There's so many
Right,
programs, so many things available. And like you said, it's an enhancement to your business. It's not a replacement of your
right.
business. You still need to be on top of it and have eyes on it. And you still need
Mhm.
to make sure that it's working properly because even with all that you're doing, if you're not taking a poll of how your AI is working or looking at your statistics of what works and what doesn't, because AI can do that too. It can actually say
Right,
based on
yeah.
these emails how this happened, what happened, who opened it, what they thought, how many responses you get. That data is so important. If you don't have it,
Mhm.
then you're just wasting your time with the AI. And I literally love AI on Facebook. I don't know about Instagram because I don't use either one, Facebook or Instagram. But when I did, I could see all the statistics. How many males, how many females. Funny enough, my following was mostly
Mhm.
female, weird enough. And it showed me the
Now
age ranges.
now
What'd you
here's my
say?
question. Do you use it or how can agents use it in their marketing or just use it in their everyday
Oh,
business?
absolutely. I mean, marketing alone, you can post every day and make a post
Right.
with your AI or your chat GPT. You could just say good morning. You could put a religious post. You can do an inspirational post. You can put a post about your work. You can put a post with you and a house. You can actually, AI is so bad, you can fake it till you make it. You can be in front of $1 million home every day and they never sold $1 million home. Back in the day, it was hard to do that unless you had Photoshop and you were doing, not with AI. You can
Right,
literally post
right,
a gazillion-dollar home and you stand in front of it with the, this is what I'm doing today. And I mean, it really is because, it's so funny because I used to sell a lot of houses. They thought I was faking it, but it was
right,
real. Now I can
right,
really
right.
fake it and never leave my bed because I have AI. And it could be me standing in front of a gorgeous home, changing my outfit every day, never really leaving the house. And people think that I am some, princess of some place or maybe empress at this point. But, you know what I mean? So
Well,
AI does have some options.
yeah, and one of the things you mentioned, like when you talked about utilizing AI for like your email campaigns, right? And then you mentioned it also for your social media pieces. It does, in that instance, it can help an individual stay consistent. And we know that consistency builds
Yes.
and credibility builds business.
Yes.
So, it's extremely important to just embrace AI. I would definitely recommend getting some training, right? It's real easy to go through courses so you can learn how to use AI properly. But the main thing the point that I'd like to get across is the importance of not putting your head in the sand and thinking that it's going to go away.
It's here to
Because
stay.
right, and if you are doing real estate, those individuals, those agents that are incorporating AI in their day-to-day business practices will pass you with flying colors. As a matter of
Yes.
fact, they already have. And they're showing up appearing to be more professional because of some of the day-to-day tasks that AI can do. It enables you to actually show up, spend more time prospecting, right? Those income producing activities, showing properties, actually out there networking with your client base. And you show up as an expert, right? So
That's
use
true.
AI to shine, is what I
Yes.
like to say.
Don't be afraid of it. But again, you have a segment of the market that's moving out of the industry and a new set coming in. So it's a baton
Mhm,
pass of, just like when the MLS changed from dark black screen. I used to call it, it was DOS, and it went into the actual MLS form, and everybody
mhm,
quit, So some people are going to gradually move on out, and those who want to keep their minds active are going to go ahead and to embrace and do more and to develop their
mhm.
businesses. But there are those who just aren't into that. Just some people still don't even have social media. I don't get into them things. I don't like all that social media
Right.
stuff. I don't do all of that. Not knowing that your presence in that market gives you your market share. We all need our unfair
Good.
share of the market. If you're not there, you don't exist. Now you can go with word of mouth, but when your mouth stops talking, what word of mouth are you going by? You can't just only do that. You have to spread yourself across all different mediums and platforms, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
Mhm,
Snapchat, even LinkedIn. You need to be on all those forums because they show up in Google. And while people
mhm,
don't realize this, the number one place to be is Google. And
mhm.
Google works with AI. If you're not on Google, you don't exist. The largest and biggest platform in the world is Google. Google
Mhm.
runs the show. Google is the mafia of the internet. You cannot claim, I don't want nobody knowing my information on Facebook. Well, honey, you're on Google. Google need to if you don't know that, you need to understand you're out of business. Google runs the world right now. Even AI is great. You want to show up on AI platforms, but AI works directly with Google, and Google Maps means you're alive. The other places too, you wouldn't believe this. Yellow
Go ahead.
Pages, which was that big book from back in the day. Remember that?
Yes.
You're in business.
Mhm,
Yellow Pages is a
mhm.
qualification now. You used to be able to get in there. Now you have to qualify. In order to be on YP, it's called Yellow Pages YP, you have to qualify. It is hard to be on the Yellow Pages. It's really weird now how
Wow.
they put this grip on us. So you really need to think about how AI and Google work together, because as a real estate agent, we used to wonder if you typed in
Mhm.
Google where you would stack up. Now you need to be concerned where you are on Chat GPT. If you type in realtors in Georgia and your name and business doesn't come up, that's a problem. So you have to find a
Yes.
way to connect your Google with your AI. I mean, there's so much to learn. We could probably do a whole nother segment on that. I have a lot of information about that with Google, but I do know that AI is here to stay. As April said, don't shy away from it, embrace it, get involved in it, or just go out of business. That's all. Anyway,
Yes. That's it. That's it. So in closing, listen, sometimes the truth sets us free, right?
it
So
is
in
what it is.
closing, I'd like to say this. The agents who, let me pull up my little, okay. So the agents who learn to use AI today will have a significant advantage tomorrow, not because AI replaces relationships, but because it gives them more time to build those relationships. So start small, experiment often, and let AI handle the busy work while you focus on servicing your clients.
Well, look at that. Well, guys, that is a great segue out. Well, thank you so much for watching. We are Q&A with Queen and
April.
well, thank you again, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will see you next time. We're going to go ahead and take you out. Woo!